Hello guys and girls. If you want to switch your career from legacy technology to cloud and Gen AI, you must understand AI agents. But there are so much conflicting info out there. ChatGPT, OpenClaw, Claude Agent, cloud native agents. Does one replace another? What parts should you learn to get hired? In today's video, we are going to go over step by step the building blocks of Claude Code Agents, Sub Agent, Agent Teams, and Cloud Agents. We will see how these components work together to build a production-ready agent. You can use this to showcase your knowledge in both Claude and Cloud in your body of work to impress recruiters and interviewers. This shows that you are not just using AI blindly, you know how to mix and match different components to build with it. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Raj. I have switched my career personally from mainframe to cloud, and eventually I made it into big tech, which is AWS. I was a principal solutions architect at AWS for around 7 years, but more importantly, I have helped many switch their career to cloud and Gen AI. With that being said, let's get started. Let's work backwards from the final goal. Final goal of any AI agent is to help customer faster and increase revenue for the company. So let's take a very common example. Let's say a customer calls about unexpected charge in some bill, maybe in a telephone company. So then the customer representative logs into different systems, pulls in call records, usage, plan details, and additional feature. He or she cross-references all this information, perhaps talks to specialists, and then, if appropriate, credit is issued to the customer account. But at that point, hours have passed and customer is already mad, so there is a high chance of churn. And this is a real problem. In average, it takes 4.5 days for this kind of issues to resolve, and around $8 to $12 billion per year lost. So how can agents help here? So what we could do is we can automate all this in the agent, where as soon as the rep puts the input prompt, the agent can pulls the call records, gets usage, plan detail, fetch specific knowledge, reconcile all this stuff, and if needed, issue the credit, and all this could be done in minutes. So all this information, right, like call details, usage, plan details, running in the cloud. Hence, this agent will be running in the cloud. So this agent is running in, let's say, AWS, and it needs to pull the call record, usage, plan detail, fetch specific knowledge, and reconcile everything. How can it do that? So think about it. What mechanism does agents have to do this? Tools, right? So using tool, it can get all this information. How about fetch specific knowledge? Can you think about a mechanism using which agents can get any custom or specific knowledge which is in the documents or some special repository? Yes, they can use RAG or retrieval augmented generation. And finally, the agent can issue a credit, which is basically another entry in a database. And if you want, you can put an optional human approval there. So now let's take a look at an actual agent architecture on the cloud. Let's say the input prompt from the rep came into the Amazon API gateway, and I'm intentionally showing a different architecture to show how you can use your existing system design knowledge to create agents on the cloud. So this Amazon API gateway puts a message into Amazon SQS, and this agent gonna pull the message to process it. At the end of the day, agent is basically a piece of code. So you can write using any agentic framework like LangChain, LangGraph, or Strands, and you can use large language model from Bedrock. And then this code using tools can pull call record, gets usage from calling another API, get the plan details, reconcile stuff, and even do RAG. And how can it do that? Well, in a nightly batch, you can feed some special documentation with some rules and stuff using an embedding LLM and put it in a vector database like OpenSearch, and this agent can use RAG to fetch all that. And once a credit needs to be issued, you can have an optional human approval in the loop, and a credit is basically an adjustment in a database. And when all this is done, this agent can invoke a simple notification service and notify the customer in minutes. There are multiple ways to create agent. You can also use Amazon Bedrock Agent Core to run agents. You can run Bedrock agents to run agents. However, I'm showing all the different options. This shows that I am building on top of my cloud knowledge. And when I talk to the recruiter and interviewer, I do the same. And if you want to know how to build an agent using Agent Core and what are the differences between Strands Agent, Bedrock Agent, and Agent Core, I have a separate video with demo. Check that out. But let's continue here. So at this point, we understand agent is a piece of code. To run this agent, you need a bunch of other different cloud infrastructure. To deploy that, you need infrastructure as code. So you need to create a VPC, you need AWS Lambda to run this agent, you need API Gateway, SQS, RDS, and different other components. To deploy this agent, you need to create all this stuff. This is where Claude comes in. So you can send a simple prompt to Claude Code saying, hey, build and deploy a billing dispute agent to a new AWS account. Write the agent code, create all CloudFormation stacks, VPC, Lambda, IAM, DynamoDB, SQS API Gateway, and wire everything together. So this is the most common way you and I probably code. And as soon as you send this prompt, Claude will work through it one task at a time. So first it will write an agent Python code. Maybe that will take 8 minutes. Then it will write the CloudFormation stack. It will take few minutes. Then it will write the IAM role and policy stack. Then it will write the Lambda SQS API Gateway stack. Then the RDS stack. And then it will write the deployment scripts and wire everything together. So as you could see the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it will do things sequentially. So it will take total around 38 minutes end to end sequential, but if one step fails, Claude loses context from earlier steps. You need to redo some steps and you have to wait. So this is not very efficient, and this is where Claude Sub Agents come into play. And the name kind of gives it how it works. Sub as in subordinator. So you'll have an orchestrator or a primary agent, and this will have bunch of subordinate agents. So in this case, you'll have one sub-agent to write the Python code, another sub-agent to write the VPC CloudFormation stack, another sub-agent who can write the IAM role and policies, another one who can write Lambda SQS API Gateway, another one writes RDS, another one writes deployment scripts. So this is exactly what sub-agent is. I put this in the prompt that run this in parallel where possible. So it's really up to the Claude. Ideally, you should create agent.markdown file for each of these different agents. So you might have an agent.markdown file for VPC CloudFormation agent.markdown, and then you could ask it, hey, create a sub-agent using this VPC CloudFormation agent.markdown. You could say create another sub-agent using IAM role agent markdown, and you could put specific rules and instructions in there. So what is a sub-agent? A sub-agent is a separate Claude instance spawned by an orchestrator to do one focused job. So in this case, each sub-agent is doing one focused thing. Each sub-agent gets only the context it needs, nothing more. So this orchestrator agent is injecting the context for each sub-agent, and each context could be totally different. Sub-agents run in parallel. They have no awareness of each other, right? So this RDS stack does not know there is another sub-agent running which is creating Lambda SQS API Gateway stack. The orchestrator controls what these sub-agents receive, sequence dependencies, and merges results. Sub-agents don't talk to each other. It is best for parallel and independent tasks, and the speed is the payoff. Because instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all these sub-agent tasks are running parallelly together. For that reason, the whole process will be finished in 10 minutes instead of 38 minutes. So what are some of the pros and cons of this? Pros are of course faster, all stacks are built in parallel, each agent focused on one domain, better output, right? Sometimes your context gets so long that some of the subtasks get confused, and one agent failure does not block another because it's not sequential. So even if this one fails, all these can go ahead. What are some of the disadvantages? Expensive, right? Because now instead of using one main agent doing stuff sequentially, you are using 7 different agents, including the orchestrator agents. In some cases, there will be some overlap between context. Shared fields need to be injected into multiple contexts. Silent failure if context injection is poor. Because one sub-agent does not know if another one failed, then you need to figure out when one sub-agent fails, what should you do, all that stuff. So this is why Claude Agent Teams was created, because in this case, it's not really totally independent. This VPC CloudFormation stack creates the VPC, and this Lambda and RDS needs to run inside your VPC, so it needs to know what are the VPC IDs, the subnets, all that stuff. So ideally, they should talk to each other. So this is where Claude Agent Teams come into play. And again, the names give it away. In a team, let's say there is no orchestrator or master. We are all working together, talking to each other, sharing everything with each other to do the tasks. Now, how do you create Claude Agent Teams? Unfortunately, unlike sub-agents is a little bit easier to create. You can pass it in the prompt, you can create markdown file, it can do it. In this case, you need to create some custom code in Claude Code, creating agent teams. So in this case, instead of these 6 different agents running independently, there is a shared message bus. So whatever this agent does, it can write into the shared message bus, and this RDS stack can pull it, and once it's done, it can push it back. So they're constantly interacting with each other. And you decide which agent passes what to each other. Let's say for an example, this VPC CloudFormation stack, once it's done, sending some information to this Lambda SQS API gateway and the RDS stack. Now I'm showing the yellow arrow outside of the shared message bus to explain it a little bit easier, but everything is happening through this message bus. And when you think about message bus, again, this GenAI has a tendency to create fancy terms for something very, very common and easy. Think of it as database, regular input-output messaging. And another good example, this is a very, very common example of agent teams, is you'll have a reviewer agent which reviews other agents' work. So in this case, VPC is created, then IAM role, Lambda, RDS stack is created based on those parameters. And once the stacks are created, this reviewer checks those infrastructure as code. In case one agent created a security group with everything open to the internet, etc. Claude Agent Teams is a group of peer Claude instances that communicates directly via a shared message bus. Agents read each other's work and go back and forth. And you determine which agents passes what kind of messages to each other based on your business need. The shared bus, database, queue, or in-memory store replaces the central orchestrator of sub-agents. This is best for one task depending on another. It needs multiple iteration. Like if this infrastructure as code reviewer says, hey, your stack is not good, so it will send it back. So it will run again, and then after it's created, it will send again. So it can go back and forth. Because of this, the output is of higher quality. However, you need to write code to implement this currently. So what are the pros and cons? Pros are higher quality output because of feedback loop. It mimics human teams, right? And you don't have to redo the whole thing because there is a feedback loop built in. What are the disadvantages? Of course, more tokens, right? You are chatting back and forth, separate cloud instances, so it's expensive. It is hard to build right now because it needs code. However, most tasks do not need this. I write a lot of agents for my startup, I hardly use agent teams. Most of the times I use regular Claude traditional agent which does things sequentially, and sometimes sub agents. So if we put everything together, what is the end-to-end flow? So end-to-end flow is Claude agents help you create the code and scripts needed to create the final agent. So it outputs a Python code perhaps and infrastructure as code. And you deploy that on a cloud, and that results in agents running in the cloud with this whole architecture. And this whole architecture is created by this CloudFormation, and this Python code is the agent code that's running in this Lambda. So Claude agents help you create code and scripts. The cloud agents helps your final customer. So the big question, of course, is what should you learn? So you cannot just learn Claude to be an SA or AI engineer. And when I say Claude in this slide, I mean Claude Code. So if you look at all the open job positions in all the big companies, no one is asking for just Claude. In most cases, they are not even asking for Claude. They are asking for the final agent output. Why? Because enterprises don't run their agents in Claude. The final enterprise agent will run where all the enterprise data is, and that's in the cloud. So the final agent will run in the cloud. If you run your agents in the cloud, so it is possible, instead of running your final agent in the cloud, you can run it in the Claude, right? So this Claude. So Claude manages its own infrastructure, and if you run your agent in the Claude, this agent needs to go to where the data is, so cloud. So you could do that using tool, but that's a lot of back and forth and lot of token, and you do not have any control over the infrastructure of the cloud. There will be latency to access data to and from cloud. Also, it will be expensive because when you are running your agent in the cloud, you can use different cost saving mechanism, right? You have savings plan, you can do enterprise discount. If you are just running it on the Claude code, you cannot do any of it. However, Claude will be used to write agents. Okay, this is what you need to do to get recruiter attention. You need to connect the Claude agent with Claude, the way I'm showing you, right? You need to create an end-to-end agent, and then you showcase it in your GitHub and LinkedIn. See, if you just create an isolated agent in Claude, that's not impressive enough, right? The way I showed you, it shows how you are using your existing cloud infrastructure knowledge, system design, all that stuff. Prioritize cloud agents. If you have to learn one thing, you don't have much time, learn how to create agents on the cloud, because Claude is just a tool. You can replace Claude with Codex, which is OpenAI. You can use Cursor, many different things that might change, but the cloud part will stay consistent. Think about this. No one will hire you if you just learn how to use Google Drive. Google Drive is a tool. But if you know how to create cloud infrastructure to store customer data using S3, RDS, DynamoDB, you will get hired. And this prepares you for multiple roles: solutions architect, forward deploy engineer, AI engineer, etc. Build this, showcase this, and then get the recruiter call and demonstrate end-to-end knowledge. If this was helpful, please click that like button, put a comment if you have a question, subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys and girls in the next one. Bye.